this lonely track, all my worries of yesterday, I can't seem to get away. We were golden turning.
Over 36 hours of non-stop rain. Rain, rain, rain. I guess that's what spring is all about, but man, it's all good. We had kind of a drought situation early part of this year through January and February, so I suppose we needed it, but man, we're getting it all at once.
Kids in love, I gave you the best of me, and all I was asking of you was to never break it.
Amazing, isn't it? You would think with all this weather, this rain, that the birds would just kind of go somewhere and hide and batten down the hatches. It's like rainy, inclement weather days. They seem to congregate on the feeder even more. I guess it kind of stimulates the appetite, makes them more ravenous. Who knows? I don't know. But man, they've been hitting the feeder hard today.
Are never coming back. We were so wild and free. We were just kids in love. I gave you the best of me.
But wow, guys. I mean, seriously, wow. My last vlog on loose versus tight painting, unbelievable. I got hundreds of comments and just unbelievable comments. So encouraging. I can't believe the way this episode popped and the way it struck a chord with you guys. You know what's funny is I almost did that episode as an afterthought. It was just kind of a, you know, I need to talk about this while it's fresh on my mind after seeing that guy's video, and maybe some people will be interested. Wow! So several of you, and I really appreciate the comments. They were just so encouraging. It was so great to see what was going on in your minds about tight versus loose. Several of you said, yeah, I like to paint loose. Several of you said, I mean a ton of you said, I love to paint tight. I'm going to read some comments in a minute. We'll go up into my studio. One of you said it's your happy place. Totally agree. Painting detail, I have to be careful because a lot of detail isn't always the best thing for a painting, but it sure is the most fun thing. But detail for me is a zen place. I love it. I just fall into it and I could do it forever and I just thoroughly enjoy it. So I identify with a lot of you. I also like to paint loose, and I like to push myself to paint loose. So I'm kind of one of those that likes to go on both ends of the spectrum, but man, I so identify with all your comments, and I'm so gratified that this was a release to so many of you. Just unbelievable. Let's go upstairs, and I'm going to read you some of the comments and stories that some people left. I mean, I could read hundreds, because there were hundreds of great little anecdotes, but I picked just a few real quickly, and I want to read those to you. So let me read a couple of these comments. I picked like 6 or 7 just kind of quickly. These were typical of some of the little anecdotes and stories that I got. Nighty Cat says, amen, brother. The snobbish attitude turned me off 3 times from watercolor. 20 years ago, I used to paint some aspects of my painting straight from a tube, and I got yelled at. When I rediscovered watercolor, I found out my favorite watercolorist, Alvaro Castanet, paints from the tube. I am all for painting the way it makes you comfortable, but challenges your middle and artistic level. Yep. And I've actually seen what she's talking about. I've seen Alvaro Castanet paint that way. Barbara Winkle said, the rant was just what I needed. I get hung up at times thinking, today I kind of want to do something a bit different. Say mix watercolor with colored pencil or graphite maybe, Tombow marker, then feel a bit traitorous to the integrity of what should be pure watercolor. From now on, I'm going to just let go more often, enjoy the journey. Exactly, Barbara, exactly. Patty Triplet says, thank you so much for this, Steve. It would be a boring world if we all painted the same. What would be the point of that? I'm in a realistic camp and thoroughly enjoy the hours spent working on detail. Me too. It takes me to my happy place, and that's what I was mentioning a minute ago. It's a zen place for me. I have to come to the point of thinking, this is what I do, for me, not someone else. But lots of others like my stuff, so it's all good. Exactly, Patty. Totally identify. As I said, I like both ends of the spectrum. I like to paint either way, and I like to use detail judiciously. That's my choice. I like to make sure it serves the painting, it serves the art. That's my choice. But really, if you wanted to put superfluous detail in every inch of your painting, and I've seen some really good artists that do that, you go right ahead and do it. I mean, you know, if people can get into this zen, relaxed state through doing a coloring book, why can't you do it with a painting, right? Gene MC3 says, oh, I love this rant. I've been tortured by so many teachers telling me my work is too tight. I've tried to get loose and looser, because they all said that was the way. It isn't me. Gave up on local teachers. By the way, keep working on those dip pens. We calligraphers are always looking for good pen holders. And aside, traditional calligraphy is now being criticized and being abandoned by many for modern calligraphy, which is sort of like loose painting. Good and fun too, but not for everyone. You might be interested, Gene. I just finished 2 oblique holders. This one here is out of spalted maple, and I have it fitted for a Browse 66. This here is also maple. It's not spalted as much. If you don't know what spalted means, Google it. S-P-A-L-T-E-D, but it's something that happens to the wood. This is fitted for a Leonard Principle. I don't know if you're into pointed pen calligraphy, but I've been trying to learn it. You know, copper plate, English round hand. So I don't know what I'm going to do, you know, with these pens. I do it mainly for fun. I'll probably sell a few on Etsy. I'm not going to make some big, huge business out of it. But I do plan to throw up a few. And I'm starting to get the hang of the finish. That was kind of a major thing. I'm starting to get the hang, at least with the oblique holders, of inserting the flange. I've got good sources now for the nib inserts at the end. I've learned how to drill and insert those. You know, so I could make a few of these, and I probably will, but I'm not going to get carried away with it. Watercolor is my main thing. This has been a ton of fun. And thanks for mentioning that, by the way, Gene. I'm glad you liked them. Here's another one. Sophie Lacoste. Wow, couldn't agree with you more. I'm a newbie, but I have worked at the National Art Museum here in Canada, and I can tell you this, the most successful artists are those that do not follow the rules, but have their own styles. Got that right. Anyone that tells you watercolor should look like this or that, you don't have the proper technique, are dead wrong. Art should not have any rules. You do what feels right to you. Thank you for this post. Those people I see on Facebook groups or YouTube make me angry that they speak down to other artists because it's not what they believe watercolor should be. Thanks, Sophie. Couldn't agree more. Denise Butler says, at last, thank you. I'm 70 years old and have been struggling with this all of my painting life. I paint quite tight and love detail. I stopped painting in watercolor because I can't let go of detail. Everyone was telling me to loosen up. Impossible. Do what you know. I now paint how I like and sell my work. It's a shame it's taken me so long to let go of others' ideas. Thank you, and I will now fish out my old watercolors and enjoy. That one, Denise, just about brought tears to my eyes, seriously. And I mean, to stop painting, I don't know what to say. Andy Sargent says, I totally agree with you, Steve. We recently had a TV program over here called The Big Painting Challenge, and the mentors to the artists kept trying to get them to paint looser and looser. In the final, they were painting a scene made famous by Canaletto, who put quite a bit of detail in his painting of the subject. You could see that some of the artists didn't want to paint loosely and were getting quite frustrated. I myself have to put quite a bit of detail into my paintings. You go, Andy. Thanks for commenting. And lastly, Susan Deville, You hit this one spot on. This is exactly why so many people stop doing any kind of art. When you hear someone say, yours is wrong, mine's better, this is wrong, that's right, it's a safe bet that a person's interest in, effort at, and desire to will change. Thank you a gazillion times over for addressing this. I have an art studio, teach 5 to 7 classes a week, and this issue is by far the biggest hurdle for me to get people over. Wow, Susan. When they do, it's simply amazing. Their smiles are as carefree as kids, their enthusiasm soars, and their work just gets better and better. Trust that they will all see this video this coming week. Great. Awesome. I mean, that was just a very small sampling. All your comments were so great, and I was overwhelmed by the number of them. I couldn't respond to them all, and comments on all my videos are getting so numerous that it's hard to respond to them all, but I read every single one, and just thank you all. Thank you all for responding, giving me your stories, and giving me your input. Now, let's do a little show and tell, okay? Since we were talking about tight, almost minuscule detail, got a new book recommendation that those of you that like to do that might like to see. Some of you may have the book. It's a great book. Let's take a look at it. Okay, so I just picked up this book. Some of you may have seen it. Billy Shoal's Botanical Painting and Watercolor. Botanical painting is huge right now. Got a resurgence. You know, artists like animation have brought it into full view, and people are just kind of lapping it up. I mean, if you like meticulous detail, you'll love doing stuff like this, and if you like botanicals, obviously. He's got great chapters on materials and methods. Covers quite a number of topics that you'll find interesting. I think if you're a detail addict, erasing, masking fluid, and he's just got some just gorgeous examples of art in here. There were several. You know, I said Billy, but it's a picture of a woman here. Yeah, I'm seeing it right here. Billy Shoal, graduate from St. Martin's School of Art and Design. Okay, my apologies, Billy, if you ever see this video, for assuming you were a man. But you know, hey, Billy, I guess I've never seen a female Billy. Article specifically designed on how to paint botanically, how to paint from life. Just a great, fun book if you love to study. Leaf rubbing. I had never thought of that. That's absolutely brilliant. Very detailed lifting techniques I thought was cool. Pretty good chapter on color mixing. Removing watermarks. Interesting. Controlling too much paint. Look at that. Painting details if you guys didn't need more permission, right? Adding pattern. Just some really neat chapters devoted just to botanical problems that you would encounter. Good chapter on composition. It's just, I think, a good pickup. Thanks everybody for watching. We will see you all in the next video.
We were so wild and